Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good. I just set all this, okay? Give me just a few seconds. So, I have so I see only Nicole, but I say that we are more here, no? Is that right? Where are the others? That's funny. Hey Beth, how are you? Nice to meet you. Let me just see. Okay, I start to see. Good. Laura, you are here. I'm Nicole, Beth, Rachel. That's good. How are you, everybody? Nice to meet you.
Good, thanks. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too.
You might be a little bit tired after the whole day. I'm gonna give you only 5 minutes to the rest, and we're gonna start. So today we're gonna start with a little practice. Not all of you. I know that you've been doing Pilates. That's why you are interested in this course. Let me just. So they're coming. Welcome, Ifa. Welcome, Kathy. Okay. I make a mistake now. Okay. Hey, Kathy. How are you?
Hi.
Nice to meet you. And so, great. Okay, I'm just gonna give it 3 minutes more to the rest and we are gonna start. So before we start, is everybody okay? You have a mat close to you to the way we can do some exercises?
Yeah, I
Yes.
can go grab one there.
Okay, perfect. Don't worry if you don't. Okay, you can still watch us. So at the beginning, we're gonna have just a little practice about, in Pilates, you've been hearing a lot like a neutral pelvis, imprinting, all the kind of things that is really important that we feel it. And that's why is this course about it. So as instructors, let me just introduce, I didn't want to introduce in case somebody jump in, but I think so. I'm just gonna give it 3 more minutes, 2 more minutes, sorry, just in case somebody else. All right. And after 2 minutes, I'm going to start so I can introduce myself. Let me just see who is missing. And if not, we can send it the link. Okay. Are you all from Cork? Are you all in Cork? No, you're not, Kathy.
Yeah.
Where are you? Where are you, Kathy? Sorry, you are just mute. We couldn't hear you.
Yeah, Limerick.
Okay. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Laura, are you here from Cork? Okay. Okay. We have some problems here. Okay, so the rest of you are from Cork, I suppose. Is that right? You
Yeah.
can say
Yeah.
because some of you are mute. Okay, no problem, Laura. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You can tell us in the chat. Don't worry about that. Okay, so I think that is just 1 minute. We are okay. Somebody pop out. I think so. Okay. Anyway, so we're just gonna start. Let's start sharp, and the other ones can come after. Okay. Yeah, somebody popped out. I'm not sure. Anyway, so at the end of the session, we can go with questions. I don't want to take too much time of you because it's nighttime and it's on Tuesday. So my name is Fabi. My full name is Fabiola Reyes. I'm from Mexico, but I'm living here in Cork for 20 years. I'm in this fitness industry for more than 20 years. I'm 48 years old, but this year I'm gonna be 49 and happy to say it. And so what I was saying, when we start to learn or teach Pilates and all this position of the spine and the pelvis, we can say too many ways to our students, keep your tummy in, suck in, feel like it's a bucket and you is with water and you don't spill it forward or backward. So there are many, many ways that we can cue it. But are 100% of our students feeling the muscles? And this is something we have to understand in our practice and our teaching. That sometimes as students, when they tell us like, keep your tummy in, we have our own way to do it. And sometimes it's not the more efficient one, or sometimes we are overdoing with the lower back. So basically, it's because the pelvis position. So the pelvis position is to be in neutral, but as well, when we say, let's keep the pelvis in neutral, we are still blank. We do our own kind of idea, we kind of representation of what does it mean and how does it feel for us, or what we can be for us, but we don't have that detail until really we have the pelvis in neutral and we are using the right muscles. So your pelvis is in this way, and let's suppose that the pelvis is slightly tilting forward. So that means all the exercises we're gonna do in Pilates, we're gonna do by overdoing the lower back. As soon as the pelvis move forward and arch the back, that means the tummy muscle is gonna be relaxed by anatomy. So if we are, for example, if we are here, so if our pelvis is tiny bit, that we don't really perceive this tiny bit, this gas, the abdominals needs to relax because they are arching the back, so they are going to stretch this part, so they need to relax. So to maintain the neutral position, it's going to give us the stability of all the abdominal muscles, the pelvic floor muscles, all the core muscles. So that's why it's important to understand the position of the hips, because that is going to give the efficiency and the engagement of the core muscles. And from 20 years in this industry, is always people who does Pilates or something like that say like, oh, I went to Pilates and I have lower back pain, or I have hip pain. And it's because in that part that we explain or give instructions to our students, we are not aware if they are feeling correctly, if they really have that neutral pelvis for the body. So what happens if somebody who doesn't have core strength decide to go to a Pilates class? Pues it goes, it follow, it listen, it try to match what the instructor is saying. Happy days if she get it. If she doesn't, well, it's gonna be a completely different story. So what is gonna happen here for that person? That person is gonna try to keep with the class, but a couple of times it's not going to be results in the core muscles. It still is going to be the lower back pain, maybe start to develop on the hip joint. So that's why we need to not only know, but we need to feel it. And that's what we are going to do tonight. That we do a small exercises that help us to understand clearly what is that pelvic neutral position and how we can engage our core muscles efficiently, because the core muscles are involved, the back muscles, the glutes, the abdominal muscles, the neck muscles, the hip muscles. So there is a combination of different muscles that together helps to maintain that neutral stability. So we're gonna lie down on your back if it's possible. If not, you can sit down. If you want to put your camera off, it's okay. And after we can come back when we start to talk more. So we're gonna do just a few exercises here. So we're gonna lie down on our back completely. And we're just gonna concentrate on our breath. We're gonna move our hands. I'm gonna lie down in a minute, but for the moment, it's just gonna be sitting. So we are gonna lie down on your back, move your hands onto your hips, And we're just gonna bend your legs, keep your feet flat on the ground, and we're gonna tilt our pelvis backwards and forward. And we just go tilt backwards and tilt forward. We feel the mobility of the lumbar area, which is the one who have more mobility. That's why it's important to understand how to engage our core muscles. Let's go just one more time, tilt your pelvis backwards and then forward. Now let's come back to neutral. So neutral is just resting your hips on the ground. You might feel there's a little gap between the lumbar area or your lower back and the floor. We are gonna slide our fingers under the lower back. So the right fingers under the right lower back and the left hand under just the fingers on your lower back, not on your hips, in your lower back. Okay. So having our fingers under, we're gonna press the lower back against the fingers, which some people call imprint. So with someone who doesn't have too much core strength, the imprinting position will help to don't arch the back. So we're gonna press the the lower back, gently against the fingers. You might feel that the pelvis is tilting slightly backwards. We hold here for 2 deep breaths. Breathe in, breathe out. Again, breathe in and breathe out. And then relax. Don't push the lower back against your fingers. Completely relax, and you will notice that the pelvis moves tiny bit. It's milli centimeter. It moves and it tilt forward, so it arch the back. Super. We concentrate again, and we're gonna, one more time, press the lower back against your fingers. We feel how the pelvis tilt tiny bit. It's not too much movement. It's just tiny bit, the tilt backwards. Perfect. We're gonna maintain that tension of the lower back against the fingertips. We have the legs bent, your feet flat on the ground. So what I want to do is we're gonna inhale to prepare. We're gonna exhale and we're gonna slide the right foot and extend the right leg on the ground as much as you can, maintaining the pressure of the lower back against the fingers. And that is gonna help us to move the leg, but maintain the pelvis in neutral. We're gonna breathe in to prepare and breathe out, gently slide the foot back again to the starting pose. Again, you always with that sensation of pressing your lower back against your fingers. Inhale to prepare again. Exhale. Now we're gonna move the left. So we're gonna slide the left foot by pressing the lower back against the fingers. Slowly, with control, which are the principles of Pilates and precision. Breathe in again to prepare. And breathe out, we drag the leg in. With that sensation of pressing your lower back against your fingers. You might feel completely different sensations. Let's go one more time on the right. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, slide your foot on the ground and extend the leg as much as you maintain the pressure of the lower back against the fingers. Breathe in at the end and breathe out, slowly slide back again the leg. Let's go on the left. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, slide the left foot and extend the left leg as much as we can maintain the neutral position by pressing the lower back against the fingers. Breathe in and breathe out, drag the leg in. Great. Now we're gonna relax the arms. So we're gonna move the arms alongside the body. We're gonna gently squeeze the glutes. The sensation to press the lower back against the fingers, not against the ground, against the fingers. So it's still a little gap between the ground and your lower back. We're gonna do the same exercise. Today is simple, just to be clear how we're gonna engage that core muscles. So breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, slide the right foot and extend the leg. Breathe in when you finish and exhale, come back. Still with that sensation of pressing against the fingertips, not the ground, the fingertips. Let's go again. Sensation to press against the fingertips. Squeeze your glutes. Breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, slide the left foot, maintaining the tension of pressing against the fingers and squeezing your glutes. Breathe in at the top, at the end, and exhale, come back. Great. So we feel the difference. We feel that maintaining just the neutral position, even with the small exercises, it really strengthens, and we feel the hard work for our core muscles. This is one part of the core muscles. When we squeeze the glutes, help us to engage the pelvic floor muscles. But when we press the lower back against the fingertips, help us to maintain the pelvis in neutral. Now we're gonna move our hands under the head. Laura, they're all lying on the back. If you can lie on the back to do the exercise, fantastic. But if not, it's okay. Okay. So move your hands under the head, everybody. We're gonna breathe in to prepare, and breathe out. With your hands, you're gonna lift the head and move chin to chest. We hold this position, and what I wanted you to do is to move your ribs close to your hip bones. Like you really want to move closer and closer to your hip bones. So you will feel the pressure in your six-pack muscles, in your rectus abdominis, in your abdominals. So we maintain that tension. We're gonna hold here for breath with that sensation of moving your ribs closer to your hips. Let's go for 3 more breaths. Breathe in and out. Breathe in, breathe out, and just one more, and out. We're gonna move the head down without releasing that sensation of maintain your ribs moving towards to your hips. And we move the head down and move your arms alongside the body. Great. Now we're gonna do another exercise using all these elements. So when we move the ribs close to the hips, help us to the hips doesn't open, relaxing the abdominal muscles. So maintain them in and help us to maintain the neutral in the rib cage as well, the stabilization in the rib cage. Now the squeezing of the glutes will help us for the pelvic floor muscles, and the sensation of press your fingertips against your lower back will help us to maintain the neutral position. So this time we're gonna move the big toes together. If it's possible, your knees. Keep your legs bent and your feet flat on the ground. Move one more time your fingertips under your lower back. So the fingertips on the right hand under the right lower back. Then the left under the left fingertips under the left lower back. So we're gonna one more time, press the lower back gently against the fingertips. We're gonna squeeze gently your glutes. It's like a 30%, 40% of the full contraction of your glutes. Sensation to move your ribs close to your hips without movement, just the sensation. We're gonna inhale to prepare. Exhale, we lift the feet and we move the knees just above your hips, but keep your legs bent. Inhale as we go down with the feet, toes touching the ground, toe touch, and exhale, come back. So the exercise is not difficult. It's just that you maintain the sensation of pressing against your fingertips, squeeze your glutes, and maintain the ribs moving close to the hips. Let's go. Inhale as you lower your feet, touch the ground with your toes, and exhale, lift again. Inhale down, and exhale up. Last one, and we drop our feet completely onto the ground. Great, everybody. Release your arms alongside the body. Lift your feet and hug your knees with your arms just to release your lower back and give us a nice stretch. Reclining child pose. We take a couple of breaths. Breathe in and out. One more. And out. Great. Let's do again the first exercise, the sliding of the leg. But now we're going to use all the elements to maintain the stability of the ribs and the pelvis. So keep your legs bent, feet flat on the ground. We're gonna squeeze the glutes. We're gonna have the sensation to press the lower back against the fingers, not against the ground. And the ribs wants to join your hips. Take a couple of breaths to be very aware how your abdominal muscles, they are kind of moving towards to the middle line of the body. And this is the sensations we want to have when we engage our core, that we understand our muscles and the mechanics of the muscles. So then we have more awareness, but more control. So now we're gonna do the sliding with all these three elements: the glutes squeezing, the lower back maintaining the neutral position, and the ribs moving to the hips to maintain the stability of the trunk. So we're gonna inhale to prepare. Exhale, slide the right foot and extend the leg as far as you don't arch your back. No change in the lower back. Breathe in as you slide back the leg. Breathe out, we slide the left leg. Squeeze your glutes, use your abs and your neutral position. And inhale, slide back the left. One more time on the right, we go really slow so we keep the awareness of maintaining the core muscles engaged. And inhale, come back. Exhale, let's go the left. And inhale, come back. Super, everybody. Now lift your feet off the ground, move your knees close to your tummy. Move your hands under the knees, lift the head, and we're rocking backward and forward to move on to any sitting position you feel comfortable, on the chair or on the ground. It doesn't matter. Super. So let's come back together here. So this is basically so important. Now that you are sitting back onto the chair, sit down on the chair or on the ground, wherever you are sitting. So now let's do what we felt on the ground. Let's put it on board in our chair. It's really important that our practice with ourselves or with our students, that is not only let's do exercises and see if it's work. No, that they really understand how they can do after and how maintain that position. Because for a normal people, they just go once or twice to a Pilates class. So it's not enough for the core muscles to maintain strength, because maybe they strengthen the class, but then what happened after the other weeks, the other days, the tummy muscle is going to be relaxed. So it's going to be very difficult to kind of correct the position and kind of strengthen the core muscles. But if our students know how to feel them and how to engage them, they can be standing, sitting, anywhere, and our core muscles are designed to hold the weight of our body, elongate the body, so then we start in the right position, so it's less stress for our joints. So when you are sitting, just from nowhere, we're gonna gently squeeze your glutes. We're gonna have the sensation to move your ribs close to your hips without moving, just the sensation. And we're gonna have the sensation to move your lower back towards your fingers and be aware of the movement of the hips, what the hips are gonna do. They tilt tiny bit backwards. Relax, don't engage nothing, move a little bit even, just to relax, just to don't feel it. Let's go one more time. So then we can really be aware when the pelvis start to move and start to be in neutral. So by sitting anywhere, we're gonna squeeze gently your glutes. So you feel the lifting, which is the engagement of the pelvic floor muscles. The sensation to move your ribs close to your hips. So avoid, let me just move my screen like that. So when we do the ribs, so if we were arching and we say ribs close, moving close to the hips, we do this. It moves tiny, which is the pelvis neutral. And then when we start reference of the fingers as well, it helps us to tuck the pelvis in and maintain more neutral our position. Hold the tension of those 3 points, and you will start to feel your abs and your core muscles working just by sitting. So squeeze gently your glutes. Ribs wants to move close to the hips. It's a tiny movement because it's not the full crunch, and the lower back press against your fingers. And we hold just 3 more breaths. Breathe in, breathe out. You can breathe out through your mouth or through your nose. Breathe in and out. And just one more. And breathe out. Well done. Now you can just, with your thumbs up, let me know. Do you feel the difference? Do you feel your abs? Those abs that we think like we don't have it, like some of us like, I don't have abs, I never feel it. It's because we have the pelvis and the tilting normally forward. Why forward? Because with the shoes we use, they elevate the heels, the hips needs to tilt forward to allow us to maintain equilibrium. And also because we become very weak in the core muscles. Well done. and and that's why it's the position. Even now that we are talking, anytime, let's come back and you will feel it straight away, your abs, the core muscles, you will feel it, because I say when you squeeze is the elevation of the pelvis, and so the elevation of the body, which is the pelvic floor muscles, the ribs, which is what happened with our rib cage. I'm not going to go too much in details because we are going to see it in the course, but just to you, what I wanted to try to you see is that our course is not only, these are the exercises, learn it, and try to figure out is we need to feel it. We have to change ourselves. We have to train ourselves, and then easy peasy teach anybody do classes. So with the rib cage, we have a little problem. With the rib cage, this part of the core of the abdominals, normally they are a little bit open. So this is the arching occurs well in the thoracic area, because sometimes we say tummy in. That's one of the things, tummy in. And what we do, and then after we cannot move at all. It's too much tension. So at some point we have to relax. But if we maintain, so when we lift, when we say tummy in and we lift the hips. But when we lift the hips needs to open and arch a little bit the thoracic area. So that's why it's so important that we start to, instead to this, is gonna be this. And you can see the pelvis, how it's tilting backwards. When we achieve that position in neutral, then we can strengthen the core muscles with Pilates. If not, it's too much overload in the lower back, in the lumbar area, or too much for the hip flexors as well. But when we have that mechanisms of the core muscles, maintain the strength, so the limbs, wherever we do, we move with grace, with fluidity, but the most important, without joints stress or joint strain. So this is basically what is the core. So I'm going to introduce myself. Sorry, my name is Fabiola. Yes, I did. No, so I am fitness instructor, personal trainer, yoga teacher, Pilates instructor. My main course is a dancer, but that's a long time ago. So now I'm just in the fitness industry for the last 20 years. So let me tell you how we're going to learn in this course. So first, we're going to learn this, biomechanics of the body. Because if you really, like, for example, the first classes that we do in the course are so slow, so aware and so precise, they even but we are just moving the leg and I can feel the hard work in the core muscles. So that is important. Then we're going to learn as well the stabilization of the ribs, the shoulders, everything, because sometimes we can do the exercises of Pilates with too much tension in the neck. And that is for the first group of the abs that they are not engaging. So when we lift the head, we put the work in the neck muscles. But the one who lifts the neck is the first group of the six-pack muscles. So when you move the ribs close to the hips, so the torso curve, so by default, the neck curve, and it's gonna be lifted. So sometimes we have the tension because we are not engaging the abs and we are just overloading the neck. We're gonna learn starting with the classical Pilates, which is the 34 exercises of Joseph Pilates, and modifications. Why the modifications? Because if somebody doesn't have a good core muscles, it has a very arching back, and if you put to do 100, one leg stretch, double leg stretch, it's gonna kill their back because they don't have the stability of the body. So the modifications and adaptations help us to our students to bring us to that core strength but without that stress of the main repertory of Pilates. So then if we're gonna do a 6-week course beginner, so then we can start to build up safely, but the most important that they feel it. Why is important that they feel it? Because in the course, you're gonna learn somatic movement. Why is important that you feel it? The somatic movement is activation of the somatic nervous system. So for I move my arm like that, my somatic nervous system needs to learn that movement before, and then it goes. It's like, for example, when you learn to dance, you learn one step, then you practice, then you go other step. And by repetitions, eventually it becomes natural. That's your somatic nervous system who control all the movements and all this learning of that. So with the somatic nervous system, give us all the awareness of the movement of the body. And it helps us to, when we are doing our Pilates class, have more control, but more awareness. And when we have more awareness and control, there's more strength as well. So that's why it's important that we feel it at the beginning, and with adaptations, we can still keep working our exercises of Pilates, but with safety, with less injuries and less pressure in our lower back and our joints. So first we're gonna learn the 34 exercises with adaptations, modifications, and then we're gonna start to open up to this world of Pilates, which is the contemporary Pilates, when we're gonna learn to all strength conditioning. This is gonna help us to mix and create a flow class and more creative class as well. So this is important, that how we're gonna learn this contemporary Pilates. Then we're gonna learn how to use the small equipments like the softball, the block, the resistance band, and the ring, because that is gonna help us to give more resistance to the workout, to give us more strength, and as well more fun. And as well, we're gonna learn the floor bar Pilates. What does it mean? What is the difference with the bar and floor bar? The floor bar is the exercises of, for example, in Pilates, we have all the exercises who are kind of with the hips square. We have this one, double leg, stuff like that. But our hips are straight, our legs doesn't really move too much. Maybe we do some one leg circle, they help us for hips mobility. But in reality, all these exercises of floor bar, which is all the pliés, tendus, and developers, all this kind of thing is going to help us to have more mobility in the legs, and that's going to help us as well to have a more global training. And in that part of learning the floor bar, we can learn the exercises that we can do as standard, which is the bar, but your certification is going to be in floor bar. And all that loads of exercise and a lot of things is going to help us to create our own style, what we need. So for example, I don't feel like a 100 is good for me, so I can change it for something else. Maybe I'm going to add more of ballet floor because it helps us for more flexibility and mobility in the legs. So that's why we cannot do this course in this way. You have all these kind of roots or branches of Pilates, so then we can have clear idea how is the market, how to move us into the market, how to create our classes, how to give something new, because it's always important that if the ones who are doing this for be a teacher, there's always we have to be in this continuous updating and give us all this information, all the type of Pilates, all the style of Pilates that will help us to maintain a solid knowledge and a solid foundation, so we can even create the way that we want our own style. But it's really important that first we learn what is Pilates, the original repertory, and then we start to, okay, we can use this into the course. That's why the course is 7 weekends. So it's 14 days practice together. It's important as well that we have this kind of watching hours of our personal practice, because that will help us to develop. In our course, it's really important to understand that everybody is completely different, that we cannot is one for everybody. So in that, everybody's different. Everybody gonna have different situations that we have to put more attention for your own develop, because sometimes even with flexibility happen that when we don't have a proper alignment, the muscles cannot length properly. And that's why sometimes instead to do something good for flexibility, we're putting on the pressure our joints. So during these 7 weekends, but the last weekend are the exams, okay? So basically 6 intense weekends that we're gonna work and learn all these, create programs, how to start from beginners to advanced, for pregnancy, for seniors, which is the other type of populations. And we have a full course of online chair Pilates that you will have. That course is online and you will have access to that course lifetime. So in case that you are interested to teach chair Pilates, which is great for seniors and pregnancy. So our qualification is Rep Silence certification is the level 4 in the NFQ qualification. In case that you cannot come all the weekends because you have something already on, because the course is intense, because some of you are not in Cork, normally what we do is if you are not coming, we're gonna do it via Zoom and we can record the session and we can send it to you. So you don't have the pressure if you miss a weekend or something, you still will have loads to practice with yourself. Homework after the course, after the weekend is pretty much like I will consider 1 hour or 2 hours a week that you have to put extra on reading, maybe study something, and you practice. But we're always gonna have like a guide practice. So we will know we're gonna practice this for the next 2 weeks. We're gonna create a programs for ourselves or yourself, personal program, depending on your goals. And that is what we're gonna be constantly working. So the only thing you have to be ready is you need to practice Pilates at least once, twice, will be great 3 times, but if not, it's enough once or twice. That you really feel like I really want to develop this in me, so I'm gonna be all full. The course is very easy. It's more about like a feeling, understanding, more like a theory and absorbing and memorizing is about that. The anatomy is really important because that's gonna give you a lot of knowledge to create specific programs in case that you want to do personal sessions or private sessions. So if somebody, for example, comes and say like, oh, I don't know, I have breast cancer operation. So the girls who have this kind of situation, after the operation, they cannot lift the arm. They are very shorter in the movement of the arm and strength. So why is anatomy important? Because it's important to know which muscles are using to lift the arm, which muscles I need to strength to lift the arm. So when we know exactly, and we know exactly the muscles we use in each exercise, where are they from? So then we can create a program for this person. Say, okay, I'm gonna do these exercises, I'm gonna do this mobility. That's why it's important, the somatic part of the course, because the somatic part will help us to develop mobility. Because sometimes it's good all the strength and isometric contractions and all that kind of stuff, but sometimes it's really important for the body, the movement. With the movement, we release as well the muscles and we find as well a way to strengthen with the movement. So that's why the anatomy part is important, but it's not boring, it's not harsh. It's really like for example, I wanted to do too much about the muscles, but today we learn how to engage the pelvic floor muscles, how to engage the abdominals, and we need to learn the abdominals is a series of 4 layers, and we will learn the names. So in that way is how we're gonna learn. So for example, we're gonna learn when the arm move up, normally we think it's the arm who is lifting, but it's really only this muscle, which is the deltoid. So these kind of things, they're gonna help us to understand how our body works, how our body can develop, which areas we need to develop. For example, if we have, I don't know, somebody come with knee pain. Mm-hmm. So then with anatomy, we say, okay, I need to strengthen the muscles around the joint. And that is gonna protect the knee. So our quads, glutes, because it's important that the glutes is going to be a main muscles to support in all the movements. So the anatomy is important for that. It's important to really understand the body and to create programs for ourselves, for others, and also to have a safe and efficient class. So I don't know if you have any questions. I think so. I cannot cover everything. You will have a manual at the beginning of the course with all these exercises in the manual. Sorry, I don't have it with me, but I can just run and catch it up and I can show it to you. So this is your manual. And there are all these exercises that we were talking, the modifications. Here's a little bit of the bar as well that you're gonna learn. The part of the contemporary, Pilates, anatomy, the programming. That's it. Nutrition as well, to know what to eat, this is more about how we need to understand our digestive system. So this is basically from me. I don't know if you have any other question, girls, before we finish the session.
I don't think so, no.
No?
No, that was
No,
great.
it was very thorough. Thank you.
Perfect. Kathy?
Yes. Is it any counting the attendance ratio or something?
Sorry?
The attendance ratio, do you count it maybe over 80% or something?
No. So as far as you can cover the sessions or via Zoom or in present, that is fine. You know what I mean? But remember that at the end there is exam. So you really need to pass the exam, and it's a writing exam 1 hour, but we're gonna do mocking exams before. So don't get stressed about the exam. Believe me, the course we have at the moment, they were so stressed because they were thinking it's gonna be very deep in anatomy, but no, it's more about common sense about Pilates. So, and then you're gonna do a practice exam. So you're gonna teach 20 minutes, a few exercises to the whole course, but we're gonna practice that during. So we don't have like a 80%, 90%. Why we don't do that? Because we don't want to put you on the pressure, because sometimes the people miss weekends not because they want, it's because they have to. You know, they have compromise, they have life, they have work, they have kids, they have family, they have many things. And I think sometimes when they put us like, oh, you need to be here 80%, 90%, then it put you on the pressure. You know, of course, will be great that you are here the whole weekends, you know, because that's going to be better for your training and stuff like that. But you can still do the work at home. We can send you the Zoom meeting, you know what I mean? So you can still keep going with the course, with the classes. So we are kind of trusting that you will really go into and do your work at home. So we don't have to pressure people to be there all the time, you know, because normally we all have things going on, you know what I mean? So after so many years in these courses and stuff like that, I found like it's very hard to put, already you are putting on the pressure yourself, because some of you have your job, some of you have your lives, your kids, stuff like that, or your studies. So you already are putting on the pressure something else on your shoulders, you know what I mean? So I don't want it to you feel like, oh, if I do this right or wrong, I'm not gonna pass. No, this is an experience that's gonna help you to learn. Of course, you need to pass the exams, of course. But if you are not coming, for example, this year there was one girl who didn't come for 4 sessions or 3 sessions because she was in Spain. She normally lives in Spain for that period. So she was taking the Zoom classes in Spain, and then she came back and she started to go. But she's fantastic because she really do the classes. Actually, she was doing it at the same time of us. She was like, but she was watching again the recording. She was really into that. Sometimes I think like she did more job than the others, you know, that they were there. So So I trust completely that everybody, if you commit, if you are already there, you will find a way to learn the stuff we have to learn and to practice. It's so important that you practice. As well, during the course, you will have access to our online platform. So there are some Pilates classes that you can practice as well. So you continue your practice as well. So this is just about practice, 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 you know? Practice in a way that we are more aware of what we are doing and more understanding. And that is what it's all about in the course. It makes sense? Yes. Thank you.
Hi, thank you for explaining all that. I'm just wondering, before the course begins, would you have any recommendations of how to prepare? Is it just like practicing Pilates, or is there anything else?
Practicing Pilates, like as soon as you register, as soon as you do your deposit for the payment of the deposit, you will have access to our online platform. So you can see there like a basic Pilates, 30 minutes Pilates, that you continue this one, you know. What I highly recommend you do planks to keep you strong. And push-ups and only do exercises that I might to say, don't let them on the side. We will build up a strength, but it helps a lot if we have certain strength. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
No problem. Any other question, girls? Kathy? No problem.
I'm just wondering what if I fail on the assessment?
No, we are not even starting, Kathy. Trust in yourself. Believe in yourself. No worries. Let's suppose, which is not going to happen, because what we normally do is we prepare everybody really well for that point. You know what I mean? It's not like a study by yourself, find yourself, and we'll see you. No, we make sure that everybody is clear in what we are doing. That's why we have those kind of little mocking exams. And during the course, we have a lot of open participation that help us a lot to learn. You know what I mean? So in case, let's see, in case, you know, the Kathy never watch the videos, never come, never study, never practice. The only way you can fail, to be honest. So what we are gonna do, we're gonna repeat the exam, so you can do it again. And the practice exams will do it online only. And that's it, because you won't be able to have the group for that exam. So you can repeat the exam, no problem. But believe me, it's not gonna happen, because
Never happened.
no, it's not gonna happen. No, because it's really important that some of us were doing it just for ourselves. But no. The course is planning in a way that you learn. So even at the half of the course, you will really know that you have loads of knowledge, and it's not gonna happen. We don't make the course to be failed, you know, we make the course to everybody pass, because it's something, even like myself, that if I was not working in this industry, I think it's really important to know, because many times we went to Pilates classes, not because the instructors are bad. No, it's not about that. It's because the classes are big, the classes are not personal, and because we think as instructors, well, I am telling them to engage this, to engage that, and blah, 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 blah. But when you go so much in details, learning anatomy or learning what your teacher knows, then when you start to be more aware of what's going on in your body. So it's priceless, the learning, because it's going to save us lower back pain, hip problems, knee problems, and it's going to maintain strength, which is muscles and bones density. And for us, for women, it's really important, the bones density, for when we're getting older. Some of you are really young, so it's fine, but it's something that's going to be for life. You know what I mean? So the course is designed for everybody past. It's a constructivist course. So it's not me and you learn, me and you observe, me and you memorize, me and you go home. And no, it's in there. We put everything on board, as we did at the beginning. So this is the way I will explain you core muscles. No about engage your core, no about zip it up, no, it's about let's feel it. And even at the moment, anytime from now to today, when you are driving, when you are standing, when you are waiting in the queue, do those engagement, and you will feel how your knees release, how your weight completely change, how your posture completely change, and how you can have the core muscles engaged. Because when we put too much tension, we have to release them. After a while, the muscles get too tired. So when we contract too much the muscles or the abs, let's suppose the abs, there's a couple of minutes that we have to release because the muscle cannot be contracted. But when we find that gentle stabilization and contraction and engagement of the core, there's no problem. We can do it, everything. So just to sorry, I have something in my mouth. Just to remind you, we squeeze the glutes gently. You don't have to be straight up. Can you be on the side? And we move the ribs close to the hips, the sensation like we're gonna do the crunch. And we come back to that sensation of the fingers at the back of the lower back, and we gently press those fingers, and you feel how the pelvis tilt straight away. And this is our problem in general. Our pelvis is tilting forward, so the abs needs to relax. So who is holding us? The lower back. So that's why it's the lower back problems. And how is holding us as well? The hips, the knees were relying the way, we're resting the way on the knees. So no, don't worry, Katy. Don't worry. You will pass. Believe me, believe me. Yeah, because it's a course for life. Of course, if you're gonna be a teacher, it's gonna be good, but definitely you're a teacher, you're gonna have more enthusiasm in this and you're gonna be prepared more in everything. But we always, we try to give you everything. If we're gonna, the first weekend, we're gonna have this routine to learn. So we write it and you have your homework, so you are kind of never alone. Even when we are learning something, I will tell you specific. Even we have exam and the day before, I pretty much, I review everything it was coming to the exam just to have them fresh, So no. So far, nobody failed.
Yeah.
And how soon afterwards can you start teaching?
Yes, straight away.
Okay.
Even during the course, you will already have to teach one person for 4 weeks or 4 classes. So you will start to teach during the course. And the idea is straight away after you finish, you go, we're going to explain you what you need for Ireland to teach, which is just pretty much your public liability insurance. And that's it. You know what I mean? But you can straight away, as soon as you have your cert. So Reps Ireland is like the representation of Ireland in the European fitness associations and stuff like that. So it's worldwide, and you can start straight away. Even when you plan that you did in the course, you can start with that plan. As I think so, if you are thinking to teach, the best is to teach straight away. Because our mind start, no, you're not good, no, you're not ready, no, you're not this, no, let's go straight. And then, of course, we're going to learn this, which is the beginning, which is the principles, the foundations, how to do everything. But what really going to make us better and better and better is just teaching and teaching and teaching and teaching and teaching. That is the only way, it's the only way, because no matter how much we practice, no matter how we study, when we are in the real world and we say, oh my God, I need to do this, I need to move that. But we will tell you how to program your class, how to create your class, how to develop your class, because in the program as well, the principles of strength conditioning is so important, because that will help us to understand more how to overload to develop the people. We want everybody kind of have the advanced level, but some people, like for example, if you are teaching senior class, it's different, because now we're talking about maintenance of mobility, maintenance of strength, and bones and muscles density. Other question, girls, before we go? No, all
No.
clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Okay, before I let you go, so you already are registered. So you want to go ahead, we start the course at the end of February, but the 31st of January is the end of the early bird. So you can save certain money there. As soon as you do the deposit of 500, you will lock the early bird. So what we can do to make it easier, because the economy as well, so you pay the deposit, you lock the early bird before the 31st, and after you can pay in installments. Make sense?
Yeah.
So you can pay, for example, it will be instead, I don't have it with me, but we can pay easily every month the rest, the same quantity every month. And then it's not that like you have to pay all for the early bird. The only thing you have to do is to pay the deposit before the early bird. Yes, the 31st is the last day. So that will be good because you don't feel like you have to pay the full amount straight away, but at least you still can have the early bird price. That's the only thing. Any questions that you might have in the next couple of days, because things happen like that. The after say like, this one. Send me a WhatsApp, send me an email, whatever you feel is more convenient with you, with straight away the question, what about this? What about that? What about that? Okay. In case, let's suppose I don't want to, yeah, but in case that you suffer an injury outside the class for any reasons, we can froze your course and you can take it in the following. Okay, so no problem. We have so much flexibility, and whatever happens, in case we are all girls here, in case that you get pregnant by surprise in the next couple of weeks, the same. Okay, so the only thing I wanted to ask is don't get stressed. You're gonna learn a lot. We're gonna be really professionals in the learning and all that kind of stuff, but it's light. The situation is here that we enjoy it, that we discover our body, that we know what to do, that we know how to share these ones. And now is a great moment because the market is open more and more and more to Pilates. So it's fantastic to learn this one. And if we are doing for ourselves, it's a great present for yourself. It's gonna improve your posture, your strength. You will know what to do with your body, because sometimes when we do a general class, we have to think in general. But when you have that personal attention and personal understanding, well, you is completely different the way you will train. You know what I mean? So that is the important of that course. That you don't. It's a course, a serious qualification. But no, this is more like a enjoy, discover. Really have fun, in the way that we understand how our body moves, how we can develop our body, how we can share this with others, which is the main thing. So I think so. No more questions? No?
Can I just ask actually, is there anywhere you'd recommend like to buy, will say like the ring and different things like that, or just
Can
any
you
type,
repeat?
for the small equipment?
The small equipment, yes.
Yeah.
I don't have a specific brand. I think some of the
Okay.
best. What I will recommend you is don't fall in those Pilates brand, because you're gonna pay loads of money and it's the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So Amazon is
that's fine.
easy. You can find things cheap, and you don't really. We have at the studio small blocks and resistance bands. But what I found is like then you go to this, I don't know, Pilates Max, let's say that doesn't exist. And the equipment is 5 times more the price.
Yeah.
You can pay for a ring 120. And I've been seeing in the course girls that they buy in Amazon the full kit for 30 euros. The same
Cool.
is the
Perfect.
same,
No, that's perfect.
it's because, sometimes the brands, it helps to I don't know, but it's the same. It's the same material. It's the same you're gonna use. It's no big deal. Your books as well. I think on Amazon is the best. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I know that some people doesn't like Amazon, but it's efficient. Is better prices, and Amazon you can find everything and not too pricey. I don't have mine with me, but the resistance bands I have for a long time, and the blocks are core blocks. But that's the only thing I will recommend. They don't rip you off just because they have a Pilates name or something like that. Because there is another brand, it's called, I don't remember what it is, but it's something like a Joseph, because Joseph Pilates,
Yeah.
but it's super expensive. Like it's just so don't worry about that. As far as it's the equipment, and it's just for the course, so no. And the ball, what I'm gonna do is, I think so the specifications are already in the website of the size of the ball. Let me just give a double check of the equipment. And all the curriculum is in the it's only have the dimensions for the Pilates ball, which is 25 centimeters, and the dimensions for the small block, which is 23 by 12 by 7.5. The Pilates circle is standard. There's no, and the resistance bands, what you have to be careful is they have different resistance. So try to don't buy the one is in circle. It's okay because we can do some stuff, but we use the other one, the ones you can open. It's just literally an open band. And there are different resistance. I think so the only way they classify is gentle, medium, strong. A medium will be enough. You know what I mean? Not too light, but the medium will be enough. And it has a big length, at least a meter. It's not too short because if not after we cannot use it. So meter or a little bit longer, it will be perfect. But it's not too short, you know. And not too light. They call it light, medium, stronger. Not too light because it can rip. So light is for very tiny movements, you know. So medium will be fantastic. But always when you are gonna buy your equipment, if you have any questions, send us an email, send us the picture and say, what do you think about this? You know what I mean? Just to make sure, you know. But that is the only thing I really can recommend, you know.
Thank you.
That's all. And the books are pretty much everywhere, which is a small book of Joseph Pilates with just the exercises. And we're going to learn the history of Joseph Pilates as well, and how Pilates came into the world and all that kind of stuff, you know. How to be with your clients. We have some material. So literally what I say is like you will spend 1 or 2 hours a week of reading, stuff like that, you know, to study a week. Okay, so it's not going to take you too much time. We don't leave too much homework. The practice is something else. You know what I mean? The practice is something different. Then, of course, as much as we practice, as stronger as we become, as we can do more advanced exercises, the ones who want, the ones we are up to. And that's it. That's pretty much, that's all. So other question, and no question is silly, believe me, because sometimes one question can be the question of everybody. So no question is silly. Just let me know, send me an email, make sure that you are 100%, that you know everything. What else? I don't think so. I think so from my side, I think I explain everything. All the curriculum is in the website, and you already registered. I think so in your registration, you already have the bank details, no? And the payment details. Is that right? Or no?
I actually haven't registered yet.
I
I must
haven't
do that.
registered yet either, yeah. I need to do it.
No, but you registered already because, you know, you won't have the Zoom.
You could
No.
just sign up for the open days. There's like
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, Gislan is the one who do all this kind of process. Don't worry, I know what is gonna happen. Yeah. So after this tonight, we will send you an email with all the bank details. That's what he's doing now.
Okay.
Some of you who registered, you have it direct, but the ones who are coming to the open day, we will send you all the information with the payments and all that kind of stuff. You know, for the bank details, so you want to do it on Revolut, then you do the payment, we send you an invoice straight away, and we open the online platform so you can go straight away. And as well, if you want to start to see what is the name of this one? The chair yoga and Pilates, you can start to learn because it's 30 hours there, but not 30 hours, are like a 20 something because the others are practicing. But you can see the classes, you can learn a little bit of anatomy, stuff like that. So we'll open all that for you in the platform, so you can start straight away to see what's going on, because we will still have a few weeks, but we can get there. So thank you so much for joining me. Nice to meet you, all of you. And any question, please send me an email, a WhatsApp, a call. We are here. Is really important. It's a big decision because it's important that you are having the course you are expecting, that it has the quality you are expecting, the knowledge you are expecting, the practice you are expecting. So any question, please don't keep it in your mind. You send in a WhatsApp, an email. Don't worry if you send me one question on Monday, one question on Friday, one question on Sunday. Don't worry, you are not going to be the annoying person. Believe me, they always are the same, and it's fine for us that you are 100%, that you want to go ahead. So nice to meet you, Kathy, Laura, Nicole, Rachel, and Ifa. Ifa, I don't see you because I don't know what happened with the screen. But anyway, yes, yeah, because it moves away. So no questions, neither you, Rachel, or Ifa. No, all clear.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, guys. Have a lovely night, and hopefully see you in a couple of weeks in person
Bye.
together.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye. I just one question, one thing. Well, not everybody gone. It's okay. Now, just in case that you are worried about the studio is infrared studio, so you're gonna be very warm when you are doing your classes. Okay.
Lovely. Thank you.
Take care. Bye
Bye.
bye. See you. Bye.